Hello and welcome to the Woman to Woman show here on Confident Women Ireland's YouTube channel with me, Roisin the Cleric. My guest today is Nina Heaton, imperative intuitive coach who lives in Cambridgeshire in the UK. Nina's background is in holistic therapies, matrix energetics, emotional intelligence, and Nina is a qualified professional and personal coach. Nina is also guided meditation YouTube channel, so do check that out. Nina is also a painter who loves painting without critics. Nina also loves poetry. Nina has written a beautiful poem, which she has recorded into an inspiring song, Time to Be Free, which is one of those songs that when you get into your head, you just keep popping back and you keep singing along to yourself. Nina, you're most welcome to Confident Women Ireland's YouTube channel.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here. It's lovely to see you, Roisin.
And I love the painting behind you. We just did an intro, the painting. That is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Nina, I would love to chat to you about everything. But first of all, let's give our listeners and viewers a little glimpse at the song that you have written that was a poem and you turned into a song and on your YouTube channel. So let's just have a listen to that. Then we'll come back and we'll chat then. Time to Be Free, Empowerment Song by Nina Heaton.
I free myself from the ties that hold me back, from the lies that say I lack. The shackles that bind me also blind me to the truth. I'm here to shine, not keep in line. So much to do, so much to see. Now I'm not dependent on finding the key. I've been searching outside, way over there, way over here. I didn't realize that was just fear. It's time to be free. It's time to be me. It's time to be free. It's time to be me. When I stop and be centered, move out of my head. The potent knowing inside is clear and powerful. I am led. No need to hide and make myself small after all. We're here to be joyful and break down the walls. I choose to trust by holding the space, co-creating with everything and at the perfect pace. This joy flows from this, interconnecting us all. For those who are listening, there are more clarion calls. It's time to be free. It's time to be me. It's time to be free. It's time to be me. The light's so clear, I want to be the seer, making divine fabric just like a weaver. Why, I hear you ask, must it be now? Because we are powerful creators, so let's just allow. I see the light in everyone, although sometimes deep. I know everyone can take a quantum leap for our humanity or sanity. Some would say it's vital we expand and explore and pave a new way. It's time to be free. It's time to be me. It's time to be free. It's time to be me. When the conditions are outgrown, the unknown becomes play for creation and elation and joy. Let's make a new way. So here I am, daring
Well, Nina, what a beautiful song.
Yeah, it's a bit smoother than that normally. I think it was buffering there, but yeah, it really is uplifting, isn't it?
It really is. I saw there's something else playing on YouTube there. It's so uplifting. It's so, as I said in my intro, once it gets into your head, you find yourself singing it. Because what was it, about a month or 6 weeks ago, was it, when I first heard it? And I said, oh my God, I love that song. And it's been constantly in my head. And I find myself singing it doing everything, driving, washing the dishes, filling the dishwasher, even doing things around the house and
Yeah,
singing
once
it.
it gets in there, it's such a positive message. I think that's what it is. It's such
Yeah.
a freeing, liberating sort of vibe about it. So,
Oh, I love it. I just love it. And, as I said, it's a beautiful song and lyrics. It really is what women are wishing for, especially midlife women, after many years of being a mother, wife, partner, working within the home or in the career. But we just want to break free and find that time to be free, that place and space to be free, just to be us again and to be me again and reconnect to our personal identity. And as that song says, let go of the shackles that, that hold us back. So, Nina, what inspired and motivated you to write the poem in the first place? Uh, as I said in my intro, you're an empowerment and creative coach. So you work closely with your intuition when you're, I would say, painting or writing poems.
well, yes, yeah, my intuition is sort of there all the time, really. So, I sort of see and feel information, and I see images in my mind's eye when I'm working with clients, or apparently writing a poem. So it's sort of almost like the information would be like in a sentence in my mind or a phrase. And that's how it happened with this poem. I was not actually thinking, oh, I'll write down write a poem today. I think I had just the first two sentences. I think I was doing something totally mundane in the house,
As you do.
as you do, and there was this phrase, and I thought, oh, what's that? And it just kept repeating, and I thought, oh, well, I better write it down. I don't know what this information is for, and I think I put it in my journal. And then that was that, and then I thought, oh, I don't know what that's about. And then a few weeks later, there was another sort of sentence, out of order, if I remember rightly, so a couple of years ago. And then it kept building, and then I realised at the end it was actually a poem. I realised that actually I've never written a poem before, so I was quite surprised. And then I just sort of thought, do you know what, that actually really could be a song. That could be a really inspiring song. Because the essence of it is so, well, as we've just said, it's so uplifting and so liberating to really recognize who we are, and that we can actually be free to go beyond all of the perceived limitations that we have. So yeah, it then turned. Do you want me to share how it turned into a song?
Do, please do. I'm intrigued.
So I had this in my mind for a while, and I thought, oh well, I don't know what you do about these things. So when I sort of wrote the song, and then I thought, well, there must be a way. And then I heard of this this company called Fiverr. I hadn't heard of it before, where you can just grab someone who's amazing that does this stuff, all different sorts of things you can get on there. And obviously there's songwriters as well, or musicians or whatever. So I just was perusing through these lovely female, I knew it was a female voice that it had to be, and so there was a handful, and then Mia, the lovely artist that did this for me, she just kept popping up, and I just couldn't. I thought, it's her, it's definitely her, definitely her. So we had a lovely chat via the messaging service that they do there. And long story short, I said I wanted to have her sing the song and create some piano, because I could hear there was piano needing to be there. So she did a swift turnaround. I think I got it quite swiftly back, and oh my gosh, Roisin, it moved me. It just I nearly burst into tears, to be honest. It was one of those things where someone was singing back the poem in a way that I'd never never thought would be possible, you know, for it to sound so beautiful.
Oh, it is absolutely beautiful.
You know,
I remember, yeah, it brought tears to my eyes every time especially the first time I heard it. And I saw the video, but we'll talk about the video later. But just the words, you know, time to be free. I want to be me. Time to be me.
It just resonates, doesn't it? It is time. It's sort of like, now is the time. If not now, when, you know, type of thing. It has to be now, doesn't it? It has to, we have to do these things now and free ourselves in whichever way, you know, we can to explore who we are, because we've all got so much potential. You know, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it's true. We've got so much potential. I mean, I never thought that I'd be able to write a poem, or, you know, I never it was even my awareness that I could or wanted to even do that. So when it was this, you know, it's arrived, I thought, well, let's just do that then. Let's just, you know. And then, of course, what happened, so the piano and the melody and the song was just amazing, but I knew it needed more layers. So my husband is actually a songwriter, so I asked him to put some more layers of music to it. I left it to him. I didn't really influence him. He's really good at just knowing what a song needs. So and then he came back, and then it got me again. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it was just like, oh. And then and then I didn't know really what it was for. You know, it was a very sort of slow sort of evolution. But then not long after, I was walking. I love to walk in nature, and I was just on a walk, and then the song was in my head, like you say, it was going around in my head with the piano and background music and everything. And then I could see the video in my head. So the information that I usually see, like with clients, when I'm working with clients, often there are pictures or, you know, information, and all I could see was Mia's fingers playing on a piano with her lovely quirky nail polish. And I thought, I wonder if she would do me a recording of her playing the piano and somehow sync it. I didn't know the technicalities. I just knew it had to be her hands playing the piano.
That is her hands.
Yes.
Hands. Wow.
Yeah. So this video was half done in my head, and I thought, gosh, I don't know, maybe there's someone on Fiverr that could help me do a video then. I don't know how to do all that, you know, create a video. And I found this lovely chap, can't remember where he was in the world, but somewhere, very patient, lovely man. And very patient, because I don't think he's used to people saying, I've already got a video in my head and this is the video. He's usually the one creating it from scratch. I'm
like you. I have something in my head before I even think about buying it. I got that in my head, or do something.
It's just sort of there. So this poor chap, I sort of gave him the outline and the piano fingers, and the, you know, and he's sort of like, oh, okay, give me something, you know, to work with, and so he was an amazing artist in his own right to create the video for me like that, because he got he could understand where I was coming from, and managed to time the video with the piano and everything, and he said, oh, I hope you like the surprise. And I said, oh, what's the surprise? I should have put another painting at the back here. One of my paintings is called Quantum Leap, which is it's in the video. It's a beautiful masculine and feminine sort of energy leaping into, you know, the future, you know, a quantum leap. And of course he put that, I don't know how he did it, but he put that in the video for me. Well, that blew me away as well. Yeah. So
do you have that video nearby?
I
can pause the interview while you go and get the painting, if it's
the
near
painting you. Yes, if you want me to get the painting.
I will pause it, and if I know how to pause it.
It's better, isn't it?
Wow, Nina, that is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. It's I can't remember when I painted it, but it's sort of when you see it a little bit more clearly, it's a masculine energy going forwards and a feminine energy almost pulling like this.
Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Look at it.
Thank you. So it's a quantum leap.
It's just like being, I want to be free. It's exactly I'm free. And the light around us, and it's just the woman's confident and she's just empowered and full of love.
Yeah, and it's sort of going into taking a quantum leap into the next, level, into the next, exciting phase. That was the feeling behind the painting. It's it was a joy to paint. It was really, really lovely to paint this one.
So he really went into the research so when you think of the video, really, really is a collaboration between your poem, your thoughts, your creativity,
yes,
your intuition,
yes,
and that was all in the video. Your art and your poem and the music, which, from your husband and the piano, it's all there.
I know, I was so taken back because really I only had this started with the first sentence. I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know where it was going. And then it turned into this living sort of being of its own, if you like. It was sort of almost showing me what it wanted to do. I'm sorry if you can hear some background sounds. There's some tree surgery going on in the background.
It's life, Nina. It's life.
It's just across the road.
My cats could be looking to get in and out.
Yes, they usually come in, don't they?
Yeah.
So, and then I thought, well, I don't know where this, sort of song is really going, and I sort of sat with it for a while.
Emotional look.
Oh,
I'm crying. I'm showing myself up. Yeah.
So I sat with it thinking, well, it's gone from one sentence to this whole poem. It's turned into a song. It's got developed as a song. Now it's a video. What is this supposed to be doing? Why has this been born into the world, really? And so I thought, well, do you know what? This would be amazing for Heaton sessions, singing groups, yoga workshops, positive thinking workshops, beautiful radio stations, beautiful, women connecting or whatever. It's got something in there, for everyone. And then the last bit I didn't mention was that then I can embed paintings with frequencies, sort of healing frequencies. So or anything really, actually. So I've embedded the song with healing frequencies. So every time the listener listens, they get exactly what they need in the moment.
And did you use music? Is it music frequency in the music?
No, actually, no. That would be an obvious thing to do, wouldn't it? But no, that wasn't a thing that I needed to do. It's not even on that type of level. It was sort of allowing the song to be like a connection point to the divine. It's like a portal to the divine. So that every time, the point is that the song can be listened to over and over.
Oh yeah, and then in your head.
Yeah, but you get something different from it every single time.
You do, because I get different thoughts.
Yeah.
And I get different motivation. One day I needed motivation and I've just put it on and I was motivated and I got inspired in that same time. And then
brilliant. Well, there you go. That's the great example of exactly what it needed to do.
Yeah. Another time I needed to send an email. I didn't know what to write an email, so I put the song on, and then everything came free flow.
Wonderful. I haven't heard that one before. That's great.
Yeah. And when you talk about women, and you think about now, a lot of people are acknowledging we are living in now the time of the divine feminine.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Look at your artwork and your painting, and it just seems like your creativity, your intuition is all aligned at the right time and within the timeline of the divine feminine. That's powerful.
Yeah, and it seems to be becoming more intense now. I think women are being more empowered now.
Yes.
And I didn't realize at the time, because that was 2019, the actual poem, and then it really so that was so sort of by January 2020, I think then it came into being. And then so now it's just at the point where it's like, well, where does it need to go? Where does it needs to be everywhere, in my opinion.
Yes. So you wrote it in December 2019.
Yes.
That's really good timing when you think about that. Then in January 2020, it started really coming together, did it?
Yeah, then Mia was, yeah, then she got onto it sort of, have I got that right? Yes, then she got onto it that on sort of in the January, and then it
Lovely.
sort of started to, yeah, come together with the video and everything. So yeah.
It's really beautiful, and I want to thank you. We're gonna give an exclusive now. Is Nina has given me permission to actually make "Time to Be Free" song Confident Women's Islands theme tune. So thank you for that, Nina.
Oh, you're very welcome. What a better place that it could be. I mean, it's just the perfect place for it to be.
Thank you. Because when I first initially heard that, I thought, oh my God, that's exactly what Confident Women Islands is all about.
Yeah.
And it really empowers me, and it connects me to, because you're very spiritual as well, and we're all in that time of everybody connecting to the spirit, to their soul, and to actually aligning everything. And you're a coach as well, and we both are all really about connecting people to their confidence, because you're a confidence coach as well. But what does that feel like now to see all your creativity in one video?
Well, it sort of blew me away. It really did, sort of, and then you sort of think, well, maybe there's another poem. maybe I shouldn't just think this is a one-off. Maybe I shouldn't limit the process of actually just staying open to maybe another poem arriving. And I think that's the thing, to following the song. If I'm to demonstrate that, then I can't limit that I could possibly write another poem that might turn into another song or be used in some way, around the world.
So. I really do.
I mean, what
so.
fun! Who knows?
It really does. And when you think about that song that you have, "Time to Be Free," when you think about it, it really does connect with everything that's happened now within the UK and Ireland, but the menopause and midlife women. We're all looking to find that time to be free, and that space and that place to actually connect to ourselves. So time to be free, to connect to me and be me.
Yeah, absolutely. And find out who we are now. I think that's the thing, because we can be, wrapped up in, I'm this, I'm that, or I'm a coach, or anything that follows I am is usually over identification, isn't it? And we're more than that. We're so much more than the little boxes that we might put ourselves in. So it's really, I think it's just inspiring to keep on updating who we are now, what we want now, where we're going now, because it changes. I think it's changing more swiftly for people. For women particularly. I think we're being sort of nudged, whether we realize it or not, whether we're spiritual or not. It doesn't really matter if we're spiritual or not. The nudges come anyway, in different forms, from different angles. And so I think it's that really reflecting on, actually, are we more than we think we are? Can we let go of the identifications, really?
And I love your artwork, because one of my favorite colors is blue. And I just, it is probably be my favorite color is blue. And I just love even the colors and the texture that you use. They're just beautiful. We came on to talk about the song, but now we're talking about the art. But look, this is the woman behind Nina Heaton,
Well, they often, I'm often minding my own business, as I say, I'm doing something or whatever, and then I just sort of think, oh, I need to paint now. Oh, I need what now? And I get such a shove. It's like, now. It's like, well, I'm a bit busy at the moment, but it's like it has to be now.
Yeah.
So I have to have canvases already prepared, because when I move to paint, it has to be now, sort of thing. Luckily, it's not usually in the middle of working with a client or something. It's usually when I'm in the middle of something, it's still usually inconvenient, but anyway, I put down what I'm doing and I just get on with the painting. And it just, I'm just shown what the colour palette is. I never know really what I'm painting. It's not like I plan it or anything. I'm just shown, blue, silver, gold, or whatever. And then I just relax into my center, which would be just like, breathing or becoming present. And then I'm off. and then it's just on the canvas. And sometimes it goes through a strange morphing type of thing where I look at going, well, that's not a very nice painting, I'm not sure. But then it keeps on changing, and then it sort of ends up as like, oh, okay, we're going there today, you know. So I have to keep out of judging it. I've learnt along the way, which is always a good message for everyone, isn't it? To stay away from being judgmental.
And being free from judgment.
Yeah.
So it's about the song, being free.
Just let go.
And just be you, and allow that creativity to flow right through you.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's going to come anyway. So there's no point going into the head or dissecting it or judging it. Yeah, it just has to flow now. So I never presume that I know what it's going to look like or know what it's going to be. I just get on with what I'm told to do, get the paints out, and then it appears. So yeah.
Do you exhibit your art?
A few times locally. I have to say, with work and everything, I haven't probably given it so much focus as it deserves. It's starting to come more to the forefront, I have to say. So yeah, thank you for nudging me on that, Roisin.
I know, but you should be exhibiting your work.
Thank you. Yeah, I do feel it needs to be. They need to be in some sort of book. I've been nudged that I need to create a beautiful book with them all in, or maybe some little cards, some possibly oracle cards or something. You know, a deck of cards, because all of the information in each painting is so powerful. So I've been shown that I need 37 or 38 paintings. So I think I probably have maybe 20. So I've got a way to go yet, but I'll just, you know, they'll appear when they appear, and we'll, you know, go from there.
And when you think about, you know, how powerful being in that present moment is, and being centered and doing exactly what you said, and in your poem and your song, and with the lyrics, just time to be free and to be me. And when we do that, it's so liberating and empowering.
And nourishing, isn't it? It's so nourishing for ourselves. It feels like
you're nourishing your soul.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful, and it can take many forms, can't it? For me, it might be the painting, but for others, it could be, you know, creativity through gardening, or I don't know, willow weaving, or something, jewelry making, or whatever. But the thing about, I think, being creative, and not necessarily artistically, I think often people sort of say, oh, I'm no good at art, you know, I'm not very creative, but actually I often think that's untrue. Often if you really sit down and explore that with them, they are really creative.
Yeah.
But it might not be with acrylics and a canvas. It might be creating, I don't know, some delicious, unusual recipes, or some, you know, beautiful workshops for their friends, or something really creative in a different form.
Because we all have special talents, and we're all very individual. We all have special, unique skills that, you know, individually, they're just one or two things. But when you add them collectively and sort of join everything together, it's actually so powerful when we meet other people and we share our skills and our talents and come together. Wow, a lot can happen.
Oh, and so much inspiration from each of the individuals as well. It's that bit where you're observing someone else working or doing what they do, and then it sparks some sort of something inside, that it awakens something, it activates something, doesn't it? I'm sure you found that yourself.
It's all frequency, isn't it? Because we were talking about frequency. So you're a coach, and as well, so we get this. Every thought, we were talking earlier on the phone, every thought we have, every word and the language we have has a biological and emotional, biological and chemical reaction with every cell in our body. And therefore has an emotion. And an emotion is a reaction and a communication to tell us what we're thinking and feeling.
Absolutely, in a positive sense, or sometimes in a negative way, which is what we need to, you know, transform in order to be really free. Because the limiting sort of beliefs and the emotions that can bring us down they're often these obstacles that don't really need to be there now because they're so old.
Yeah.
They're often just from a long, long time ago, and they really don't serve any positive purpose, do they now?
And when you think, you got your thoughts, you got your emotions, you got the tone of voice and how you speak to yourself. You got the spoken word that has an emotion, with all emotional reaction, that has a behavior and an action, and that's what gets us our outcomes in life.
Absolutely. And of course, then the interaction with the other people, if we're going through that process, then we're communicating that outwardly. And so when we start to change all of those things, our communication is more clear, relationships improve. It all just keeps on going, doesn't it? It just keeps on getting better and better.
And it's a frequency. Every thought that we have, every word and the language of the words has a frequency. And every emotion has a frequency. Every tone of our voice has a frequency when you think about music vibrations. And music, because when we speak, it is a form of music, regardless. I'm only thinking about this out loud now.
Yeah.
It's a form of music. So everything, we are a frequency. So we human, everything in life is a frequency, from us humans to water, to plants, to color, and words. Because you must be very good at the power of language, because when you think about the poetry that you write.
Well, yes, I'll say yes to that. But I'm not sure I was saying the poetry I write, just this one poem at the moment. But
at the moment,
but yeah, it's very much looking at everything with wanting everything to be in resonance. I think that's the thing, with everything being in harmony, like a harmonic resonance, we could sort of say. And it's like, well, what does that mean? It just means that everything is in coherence with everything else, and then you're in flow, aren't you? If everything, I know we've spoken about that before, when we have all the levels of our being in a harmonious expression, we are then in this beautiful state of authenticity, aren't we? We're in this true authentic self,
and in the present moment.
Yes,
in that present moment. And there's, I always know when I'm in that present moment. I know by my tone of voice. That's how I know when I'm in that present moment right now, is I hear my voice and I can feel my body.
I love that, the way you put that. I love that. It's just through the voice. I think that's a beautiful way to connect to it. Yeah.
And I only learned that, I used to always practice meditation and teach meditation. I want to talk about that because you have a YouTube channel with meditation. You teach meditation. But I only learned about the power of listening to my voice about 5 years ago, when I was presenting radio, because I never... I had speech therapy for 25 years because I had the cleft lip and palate, and I had just a big hole. I had no face, just a big hole. And then, oh my God, because I developed the format for the radio, and the presenter then left 2 weeks after. And I went, oh my God, I have not got a radio voice. And I went, oh my God, I was like, hello, this is Roisin the Cleric. Seriously, that was me. Hello, this is Roisin the Cleric. You're very welcome. And I was like, oh my God, I thought I need a Miss Bouquet. I need a radio voice. Like, we all have a telephone. Miss Bouquet, I loved her, But I had a working, professional voice, as we all do. So then I had to develop my radio voice. And I found I had that when I became present in the present moment. I'm completely centered and present. I could hear my voice and I could feel my body. And I was completely in focus, and I didn't forget anything. And I was connecting with whoever I was speaking to and where I was at that very one moment.
And that's when you feel that resonance with the other person, don't you? There's that beautiful thing when we're actually in our fullness. I would say it in a slightly different way. I love the way you put it, though. I would sort of say that you're inhabiting the body fully. You're actually fully in your body, because sometimes people will say, well, I'm really grounded. And it's like, I'm really connected to the earth. But sometimes when I work with clients, I can see and feel that they're not actually physically in their body.
Yes.
But when people are, and they learn how to do that, which I guide clients how to do, which is very straightforward, the way that I show them is very, very easy. But to experience that firsthand fully, sometimes people have never experienced it before. And when they do, they're blown away by it. They're, and it's like they're coming home to their self. They're coming home to their body.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's easy to be in resonance with the other person. I feel very present now. I can feel your presence now.
Yeah.
And there's this lovely sort of flow.
The connection.
It's the connection, heart connection, isn't it?
And that frequency, what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I never, if you had told me before COVID that you could connect and have frequency via technology and Zoom, I would have went, you're crazy, you're off, But isn't it funny how some of the good things that came out of the pandemic was the Zoom? Because I'm technologically blind, I would tell you that. I mean, technologically, I'm menopausal blind. I'm now in postmenopause. Now, Stephanie McDermott says, Roshan, you next can't see. No, you're blind. I go, that's my get out of jail card. But So I learned how to use Zoom during the pandemic. And then now I'm using it all the time.
And then you think, well, how could I not use it now? Why wouldn't I want to use it? Because people all over the world, you can connect with more, easily with seeing the person. You can tune in, you can sort of see the person and sort of tune in. So I think it's been a good nudge for everyone.
I think so too.
There's a gift in there somewhere, and that's one of the gifts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
Adam, I always look for the silver lining in the dark cloud. I'm one of them people, I look for that, and I go, okay, if there's a will, there's a way to get through, to see it positive in every situation.
Totally, yeah.
And find a solution to a problem. Okay, what's the solution? This is the problem. What's the solution? How do we get there to solving the solution? Coaching, really.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think from I was just going to say, I think probably from back in the day when I was using Reiki as a distance healing.
Yes.
Back in the day, I was a Reiki master, but I used to use distance healing quite a lot. And so, I knew that you can, of course, connect with people across the other side of the world, and there's no time and distance. Yeah. But again, like yourself, I wasn't quite sure how that would really work with technology and on a screen, and would the client be comfortable enough to be looking at a screen and be able to so fine, it's just easy and flows. Fine.
Do you know what I found? I wonder, do you find it as well with clients? I find that a lot of clients, coaching clients, or any clients I'm working with, they open up a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot more comfortable on Zoom, because they know they can just click end or end video or end Zoom, and they don't have to pack their bags and get on the coat, walk out through reception, get into the car and come home. They don't have to face anybody. They can just sit there afterwards and go, wow,
in their own space. Yeah, sort of like in a safe space, aren't they? Yeah, I quite agree. It's in their own, because they're in their own space anyway. They're already feeling, relaxed, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so they haven't, like you say, got to face the world or go outside or, quite agree.
And I wouldn't be able to share you with my audience of Confident Women Island. And I would, and I share the song, your music and your art, because your art is just breathtakingly beautiful.
Oh, well, that's very kind.
And I mean it.
Yeah, I can.
You just show us your painting again of the lady. I love it. Wow.
It's trying to get it in the light, isn't it? Let me get back a little bit further.
Wow. Just absolutely, it actually brings an emotion out of me. I don't know what it is, but I know what it is. Okay, right. Wow. Oh gosh, I've just had one of those moments. When I first saw it, I got this emotion within me. And when I connected, and I had an emotional connection to your song, But wow, isn't that just beautiful? It's like an orb.
Yeah. Well, it's the beautiful thing about art. It can be anything that for the individual. So it could be an orb. For me, it's actually going through to another dimension.
You know how you do, you know, because I died 3 times. Oh God, I never thought I'd say this. I died 3 times when I was younger, before I was 3, when I was under surgery, right? So my mother and my great aunt told me. No one else told me until I had children of my own.
Wow.
I think I heard about it, but they never sat down and told me the whole lot. And I have this, I think that's where I get my love of the color blue. And see if any like emergency services are driving past me, I have to be careful not to look at them, because I would get hypnotized with the lights, the blue lights.
Really? Oh,
So
wow.
I have to make a conscious decision not to look at the lights.
Wow.
And so to me, that's like a beautiful way of passing over to the next dimension.
Oh, is it? Oh, interesting. I love to hear people's interpretation of every piece of art, because it's just so diverse. So
if you think about spirit being an orb of leaving our body.
Yeah, no, I can totally see what you mean. It's so, I was going to ask you, what is that emotion?
Oh, I had
if
this.
you want to share that.
Yeah, I had this with David G. Rogers. Pure love, pure being at peace, pure. Oh God, this is really getting in depth today. We didn't think we were going to do this. Pure love. I'm getting in that moment. Pure love, pure just being at one with the mind, body, and spirit.
Oh wow!
And being connected to my soul and my purpose, and loving who I am as a person.
Wow.
Oh gosh, this was supposed to be about you, not about me.
Well, I'm so pleased that you got that from the painting. Oh, it's just so beautiful.
Wow.
They all have, you know, these beautiful powers to, I say powers, I'll rephrase that. They all have this beautiful way of connecting, you know, with the individual. The ones that I've painted more recently they're all individual paintings. One of them is a sort of almost like a fluorescent pink and gold. It's quite an unusual one, and that just feels so peaceful. It was all about peace. So when I paint, I'm shown to go and paint, and then after I've painted the painting, I sit and wait for the information to come from the painting. So it's almost like I get a message from the painting, if you like. So I scroll down the information through feelings and pictures, and then I'm able to work out that that's what the painting's for. You know, this is what it, you know, and then that's when I embed it with frequencies. So yeah, the most recent ones are quite different to these two. Well, they're all different, but they're quite powerful, but in different ways. Yeah. So.
And the painting behind you just connects me to Archangel Michael.
Ah, nice. That's lovely.
Isn't it? That safety, that protection, and that spiritual warrior. And someone who's looking after us all, and who we pray to, we know, Archangel Michael. Wow.
That one was literally, again, sort of minding my own business, like, oh, we need to paint. Oh, it's blue. Oh, it's got gold in it and mostly silver. And it was, you know, shine your light as a heart at the centre. I don't know whether you can see it very well. There's a heart.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's quite powerful when you sit with it and just meditate with it. Soften the eyes.
Wow.
If you just, it's one of those things, it's almost like becoming present and then allowing your gaze to soften. And then your eyes.
Look at at the top. Is that like I see at the very top, it's like a feather.
Oh, is it a feather to you? Yeah.
And then there's a white guiding light.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like a feather. And it's like, wow, all feathers coming out as well as the beaming light.
I mean, some of the paintings you could just look at for hours, because they really draw you in.
Yeah.
And they have like your eyes sort of will just be shown where to go. And yeah, it's a unique experience, but it's, you know, they're
It is
very,
unique.
yeah, unique to everyone.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's appropriate during the just hop this one back before I put it somewhere I shouldn't. When I sometimes work with clients, sometimes I'm nudged to share one of the paintings, and it's really quite an interesting process where we just softening the gaze and allowing whatever it is to be felt, really. So you're not looking at the painting like it's a painting, you're actually letting go of what you think it is, what you think it might do. You're just allowing the information to sort of flow in, and it's quite profound. You know, it's taken me quite by surprise, if I'm honest. I never really realized some of the paintings would be part of the healing process for clients. Yeah, it's quite unusual, but powerful.
You know what I'm getting out of your two paintings today? Freedom. And your song is about freedom.
Totally. Yeah. It's, you know, it's
You know?
what we are here to really let go of all of the you know, the perceived limitations, because they're just illusions, but because they've often been there for so long, I'm sure you agree that because they've been there for so long, we think it's a part of us. We become so identified. We think, oh well, you know, I've always been like that. I've always you know, but actually it's not a part of who we are. It's just simply a conditioning and a program or a trauma or something that needs to be integrated into you know, our being, so that it no longer is an obstacle. You know,
it's amazing. Your work is amazing, and I can only imagine as a client, as a coach, intuitive empowerment intuitive coach. Wow, your sessions must be really as powerful as your artwork and as the words in your poem and your song.
Yeah, I think they're very creative. I sort of feel that sometimes when people, I mean, different things work for different people, but I quite like it being interactive.
Yeah,
I like it to be fun.
yeah.
You know, just because we're transforming stuff, it doesn't have to be serious. And
no, it has to be fun, because that's free. When you think laughter is healing.
Yes,
crying is healing. I heard once that crying, because I couldn't cry for 10 years, 15 years. And so somebody said to me, because my favorite flowers is sweet pea and roses. And lavender doesn't need water. So sweet pea and roses. And so we're trying to get, you know, to cry. I could cry and everything could come to my eyes, but I wouldn't cry. I could cry for anyone else, but not for me.
I see. Yeah.
So the lady said to me, she said, what was it? She said, her exact words were, when we cry, you're nourishing and watering your soul. And when she said that, I just thought of my sweet pea flowers and all the vibrant colors. And I saw them from a seed and how I used to nurture them and plant them, prepare the soil, put in my sweet pea flowers and nurture them with water. And I thought, wow, isn't that a beautiful analogy? Like,
absolutely.
Watering your soul, the sweet pea flowers, and so then the floodgates opened.
There's no stopping you. Yeah.
When the menopause came, that was it. I was crying for no reason at all. But your coaching clients, before we go to your coaching clients, tell us about your meditation workshop.
Yeah,
your meditation channel, sorry.
Yes, yeah, I knew what you meant. It was, I suppose, really, I want to be able to help as many people as possible. Really, I think that's what the song's about. That's what the artwork is about. You can buy the artwork through Redbubble, which is a print-on-demand company. So I want to really help as many different people in as many different ways. So I also wanted some things to be, you know, actually free of charge, so anyone can access, you know, what I do. So I had a YouTube channel for quite a long time, which I had some coaching clips on, And I thought, actually, no, I need to look at this with fresh eyes and actually start off with some really nice meditations to help people, for free, really. So I'm starting to build up the meditations on there, and then gradually I'll be building up. So there's sort of, if you like, free support for anyone that needs it. So it's there in different formats. It could be a song, it could be, a little print of the painting, it could be, the meditation. So the channel's only got a few up there at the moment, but I'm trying to work in every week. I'm trying to create another one, to get it up there. So there's a nice sort of collection. But actually on my website there are 3 clarity meditations which people can sign up for free on my resources page. And this is really designed for people that don't have that much time. So there is Clarity 1, Clarity 2 and Clarity 3. Collectively you can use them all together, so it could be 20 minutes altogether. If you've only got 5 minutes, you just choose the first one. If you've got a bit more time, you can add on the second one. If you've got a little bit more time, you can do all 3 for 20 minutes, So, and they all, connect to the next one. And they are very powerful, very simple, but very powerful, again, because I've embedded them with frequencies again. So I just keep embedding everything with frequencies. So, yeah, so for the individual's freedom, for the highest good, often I would put in there for harmonious adaptation to change, which is a bit of a mouthful when I'm doing the embedding process, but it's really about that the change is gentle and harmonious, so that you can cope with the transformation that happens during the meditation or during coaching or whatever. So it's harmonious, it's really important. So so those are audio clips on the website, but the YouTube channel, I'm fitting in my diary every week to put some time aside. It's fitting it in, isn't it, Roisin?
It's fitting it in, and around your everyday life and work.
Yeah,
fitting it in. It takes a lot of effort to have a YouTube channel.
Well, it does. Once you get in the flow, it's good, isn't it? But it's that bit where you have to put some time aside and make sure that it doesn't go further down the list of things to do. Because I quite actually enjoy the process of creating. It's another way of being creative. But it's just making sure that happens on a regular basis, which I'm just doing now. So
and too, it's a lovely way the YouTube channel is, like for the one I have, because I left the radio, so it seems to be like just transferring from broadcast radio over to YouTube. And for me it's like, oh my God, I hated my voice beforehand. Now I have to look at myself. So that's even a bigger transformation from radio, when no one sees you. No one sees what you look like. And, you can read from your scripts, and now you've got to really just focus on the camera. It's like being in, thank God I had some training when I studied media and PR, we had TV work, but that goes out the window when you're actually going, oh my God, what am I doing? So YouTube has been, when you think about with Zoom and transferring everything like you and I are doing, it's one way to connect with people who are not just here locally. Like we can connect now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's really, really and so inspiring when you can watch someone on the other side of the world. It doesn't matter about the time difference then, does it? None of that matters. You can just watch the YouTube video. And I remember watching your lovely interview with the author that I can't remember the name, but the Lotus and the Tiger.
Lizzie Shortcut, Lizzie Shortcut, yes.
And that was really lovely. I love the way that, I did literally get myself a cup of tea and think, do you know what, I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to have a little cup of tea. And I felt like I was in the room with you, listening. Yeah, so I think it's a really good way to connect through the heart, really touching on really important subjects that are uplifting or inspiring, or sort of creates a new perception of something even for people.
And, you know, Lizzie was lovely, and we were supposed to have to do another interview, but her mum wasn't well. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. So maybe if you could send some healing to the family and to Lizzie's mum, and that would be lovely. Yeah, Lizzie's lovely because we were talking about addiction, suicide, and death. And then the lotus and the tiger. Where is it? I have it there somewhere.
Yeah, it's on your bookshelf somewhere.
Yeah, it's there. It's usually just very handy. And I don't know where I put it. I must have moved it somewhere, and it's somewhere very handy.
But it's important that the topics, isn't it? It's the topics that I think that's what these Zoom, you know, it's what YouTube is about. It's how we can connect through Zoom, and touching on subjects that are possibly uncomfortable or hard to even consider talking about. It sort of brings it out into the open, doesn't it? And it makes it so it's not a taboo subject. Or again, when you watch someone else doing their thing, it inspires you to think, oh, actually, I wonder, you know, so it gives that sort of I don't know, it ignites something in people.
Doesn't it? And it encourages other people, and it really does. What do you think about the conversation with Lizzie Shortall? And we were talking about addictions, we were talking about suicide, we were talking about mental health. There's an awful, as you said, they're taboo subjects, but we don't know really when people are watching an interview, like with your art, what their interpretation is, what they're getting out of it. And maybe it may be helping them in some small way.
Yeah, it could just be one phrase, couldn't it? One sentence, you know, one glance at the painting, one listen of the video of the song, you know, and watching the images on the video from Time to Be Free. It could just be like something that's 30 seconds or a minute, but that's all it takes to be like a catalyst for something to come into being or come to life, or to, you know.
It's like Lizzie said one thing in that video. Now I had it before this afternoon, but what the roundabout thing was, you cannot measure grief. You cannot put a timeline on grief, because I don't think you ever get it over losing someone you love. You know, my grandmother died in 1998, and I still miss her as if she only died last week. You know, and so you cannot measure grief.
Yeah, I think we all need to do a lot more of this sort of inspirational, you know, chatting and exploring, you know, on so many more topics that are, you know, unusual, or have, you know, a strange, you know, some people's perception of different topics can, just from not knowing, just because they don't really know, it's that sort of, you know, perhaps they're maybe close to a sort of a topic or whatever. And these sorts of conversations just are an opportunity to open something, open up something. So I vote we do more of these. Beautiful.
I could talk to you all day, and I could watch your art all day, listen to your music all day. I mean, but no, we have to have you on the panelists of, and we have you on more often. And maybe our next video we might talk about your coaching practice.
That would be great.
How you help your clients through your work, because I just think, wow, you know, I get such an emotional reaction out of your song. And I mean a positive, uplifting, motivating, inspiring, healing from your poem, your song, and your art. And even just talking to you. I love talking to you, Nina.
Well, it's been really good fun, hasn't it? It's so nice to chat with you. We could talk for hours.
Yes. Nina, if anybody's listening to this or watching this video, how can people get in touch with you? And I will put the links in the description box below. Because you have your YouTube channel, you have your song, you have your website for your coaching, you have your art, and you have your website and any social media that you're on.
Yeah, it's probably best to contact me through the website, actually, which is ninaheaton.co.uk. It's quite nice on there because there are, like I say, free resources on there for people as well. And they can just contact me directly like that, and then they can just drop me a note and say, oh, I'd really love to, you know, chat about this, or I was wondering about that. I do a free discovery session if people are wanting to change something or to move forward, they can have a free discovery session if they feel that's,
What is a discovery session?
I was just about to say, so it's 45 minutes on Zoom, good old Zoom, where we talk about where they are now, where they want to be, and how I can help them change that. So it's quite clear and concise, quite dynamic session, just so they can get a feel for what's possible. And, obviously some of this, this interview today, this lovely chat today, is given an insight to what I'm about.
And who you are. The beautiful woman that you are, inside and out and everything. Yes.
Thank you. So so they can just email me, and we can just catch up on Zoom or something and have a chat. There is the YouTube channel, but it's probably the website's the most easiest, I think.
I'll put that in the description box
below. Thank you, Roisin.
Really thank you, because when I talk to many women on the channel, what really does connect me to the divine feminine, and and because I know the interviews will help other women in some way, shape or form. Even if it's just nuggets of inspiration, motivation, or something, or wisdom or knowledge being passed. So thank you so much, Nina Heaton, for taking the time to talk and come on Confident Women Island today.
Thank you.